Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about something I have done a video on before, at least one, years ago, I guess, I don't know. And it's about what some seem to be calling word salad. And I mentioned in at least that one video that what I had always heard as word salad is something different. And I'm going to give what I see it as right now. What they may be, not everybody, okay, who talks about it, what they may be talking about themselves and calling it word salad. I don't know, unless the definition has somehow changed over the past few years, or maybe when I studied it they didn't discuss that part of it. I don't know, but for many years, I've seen word salad, known word salad to be something very different. And I have seen it, heard it in action. And there is a physical thing that I saw going along with it. That's why I say I saw it. I've seen it. And of course I've heard the words come out of their mouths. Okay. Now, when I first heard about word salad, and I experienced it, not myself, but seeing it and hearing it many years ago. But when I heard it called word salad, it was basically used for when somebody has something such as a traumatic brain injury or dementia, some kind of cognitive impairment. And I've given this example before, something like they would say, the duck yesterday, purple, come up with anything. Just the words the sentences don't make any sense at all. There's no, like you could, like even saying the duck, not usually, it's more like duck, purple, and they just keep stringing words together that make absolutely no sense. Now, when I've seen it, that's, you see it often, not often, but sometimes with people with word salad, with dementia, and as far as like traumatic brain injury, or when I saw it one time, it was a man who was very, very angry, a family member, extremely angry, and just started screaming out words, like as if to make a sentence, and he had a traumatic brain injury, and just words at random, and it's like, slow down, what are you saying, and that was many, many years ago that I heard it, and trying to make sense out of it, there was none. Okay, but these days it seems like, how in the world this got started, I don't know. I do not think that it actually should be called word salad, because it's confusing the real word salad with something else. But people say, like, whenever a person who's narcissistic can get angry, or they just want to avoid answering something, they'll use this word salad. I don't know. I don't think so. I wouldn't call it word salad. What I would call it is something more like they try to derail the conversation. They're trying to, basically, they take it off track. You're talking about, and it doesn't have to be when they're angry even. Like, you're trying to get to a point of, to get an answer, like a yes or no, like kind of like spinners, people who spin masters, who spin something, and they'll just take it down a different road, and they take it off track, then down a different road, and before you know it, you are, you have no idea where you started off with, and you never got your answer. You would not get your answer. They're not going to answer something like a yes or no. If it's something that they really want to avoid, or it could lead to them getting caught in what they did wrong, or just something they, like, you want to, you'll plan something, like if you in a relationship and you want to plan a vacation, well, when you can, they'll just take it down some other road, and you'll never get an answer to it, or something like that. All right, now sometimes you can think of it in terms of maybe a defense mechanism, deflection or projection, or something like that. But is it, a question remains, I guess, is it intentional? And it really just depends on the purpose for it, of what's going on. There's so many different things that could be said. We could be triggering them, or for some, it could be that they just are commitment phobic. There was a time, I think about, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, people, it was like the topic at the time. I don't know what you would call it, but people talked a lot about people being commitment phobic. It was like a trend or something. But like if you want to go on vacation, they don't want to answer. They don't want to make a commitment, and they'll do that. They'll derail the conversation, go off on some other thing, so they don't have to answer, so they don't have to commit. And or sometimes I think that is something that they know will irritate somebody, and so they do it on purpose. Take the conversation down, derail it, take it down a different road, whatever, and just to tick somebody off. And some of them would get a little bit of enjoyment out of that. Seeing how they can make somebody angry by doing that. Okay, now I'm really not sure how that got to people calling it word salad. I really don't. Because a word salad would be like their words mixed up in a bowl. To me, that made a salad. It's, like I said, like somebody with dementia or a traumatic brain injury. So, but I hear this, and it does make me think about how it's easy to get the wrong terms from things that you see online. Now, I'm not perfect with any of it. My degrees are in psychology and sociology. I'm not perfect in any of this. Nothing. Nobody's perfect in life, but I've known quite a few people who seem to think that they are, and who will say that they never make mistakes. You do. I do. Everybody does. But, yeah, Okay, sorry, I am dealing with allergies, my goodness. But I've been thinking about this again today because I was looking up something. I was wanting to watch videos. One popped up something about like the different types of planets and something, from YouTube, on YouTube, different types of planets and everything like that. So I clicked on one. It led to recommending more different types and stuff like that. And I thought, how can you check to see if the people who are doing these, do they really know what they're talking about? But on the internet, this is nothing new to me. The internet, you can find anything, anybody say anything, and it's wrong. But they'll put it out as though that they are an expert on the topic. I don't believe in experts. Very, very rare for anybody to know that much about one topic unless they invented it themselves, created it themselves. To be an expert on it. There's so many different things it could be. It depends, but I would call them more voice of authority on particular topics. Every once in a while I used the word expert, like people like Dr. Fauci. Okay? He would be the leading expert on the topic that he knows about. Seriously. I just woke up from a nap, can you tell? Anyway, and no, it's... But long ago, my first time on anything you think of as social media was 1990, and pretty much ever since then, okay? And you can find people that will put up any kind of thing, definitions of whatever, and it's a bunch of BS. They'll make videos, and they're a bunch of BS. And never would they even say, well, I could be wrong. Okay, no, they're not going to. So when somebody's looking, like I was looking for videos on particular topics, and saying, how would I know that these are actual experts on something? You really don't. When I was teaching at college and university, I would not allow my students to get any scientific information off of the internet. Really, would not allow them at all. You go to a library, you look up scholarly journal articles, depending on what the topic was. But not just something you can pull off the internet. I tried one time, and it was about freedom of speech, by the way, and it was about what are issues with basically freedom of speech. What could go wrong if you think that you could say anything that you want to, and so forth. Now, this was years ago, and I let them get on the internet, and so the ones who wanted to say that there was no problems with freedom of speech, I mean, no legal issues could come about for whatever you say, that's exactly what they did. They found and refused to find anything other than that. Refused. They made zeros. Zero. You don't do the assignment? Zero. You don't get any grades for that. The other ones, but what would they look for? They would look for the confirmation bias, whatever, would tell them exactly what they want to hear, and those that did that. And anyway, so it makes me wonder, how did this word salad, it defined as word salad is what is anything other than what I mentioned from the beginning. People like with dementia. I think there's some kind of more cluster A, schizophrenia, some form from there too. I don't know, you can look it up. Well, I say you look it up online. Yeah, right. But, no, I heard it mainly with concerning dementia. People with cognitive impairment, different types. So, and then not just dementia. Anyway. But that does worry me. And I wonder, when I first started watching videos on YouTube, I first found out that there were people making videos on YouTube about narcissism. I saw a lot wrong. And I wondered, why isn't there anybody out there checking this stuff? Because I would have been a career student. And believe me, you get one thing wrong, boom! Even just writing out the, who you're citing, your sources and such. Boom, wrong. Okay, you get hit. And these are people just saying things that it's like, no, that's not the definition. Where did you get that? No, nothing. Okay. So how many people have learned the wrong things? I don't know. I need to wake up before I do another video. But you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's worrisome. So, that's what I know about word salad. It is not what some people, not all, some seem to want to call it. Okay, since I'm doing this basically on more than one topic, I've got notes and I want to get through some of them. I'm going to go talk about one of them that I was thinking around the same time. And that is, like I mentioned, this spin masters is what I call them. They will spin, like, they'll spin anything to the way they want it to be seen. How they, something like the sky is blue, but they want it to be seen as a different color, or something. They're master manipulators. They know how to spin it. And what I was thinking the other day, was looking up, I remember people calling others, like somebody who does something like that along the lines pathological liars and habitual liars. You don't hear that much anymore. At least I don't hear people talk about either one. And some seem to think that there was a difference in definitions for each. I even looked up yesterday to try to find some scholarly journal articles on it. Couldn't find any. Basically, really. Well, some really old, but nothing new. Like within the past 4 years. But my thought was on this about the spin masters is it a problem, with them, the way they think? Is it something that they can change? Okay, or is it such a habit that they can no longer change, that it can no longer give a straight answer, like somebody asks them a closed question, a yes or no. All you need is a yes or no answer, nothing else, yes or no. They're not going to say yes or no. They're going to take it down this road and take it down that road. Very similar to what I was talking about earlier. but never just straightforward yes or no. And by the time you're finished with that, with their answer, you're like, okay, like I just said earlier, where do we start off here? Okay, really. But I do wonder if it's something that's kind of like that, people who think of conspiracy theories and, that whole combination, conspiracy theories, the illusory pattern perception, the pseudo-profound bullshit. It actually said bullshit, like I've said before, in the Scholarly Journal article. Now, I still need to check out that journal. I've never heard of it before. It was more than one. It was more than one journal. And, but can they? Can they really? I mean, these things combined, it's like this is the makeup of certain type of people. Can they really untwist themselves to see when when really needed, when an emergency type situation, say something when it's urgent, they need a straightforward answer, yes or no. Can they? Is it possible? Can somebody become such a habit to never give a straight answer that a person no longer can? Such a habit. Really? I think that's more than enough for this video, but I started yesterday, made the first video about little mysteries that have come up in my life, and one of them was mainly on my mind when I started doing that yesterday. I started thinking about the other ones, and I know I've told them over these 6 years. My original channel, I started 6 years in July, and in August it was 6 years. And I've told these stories over time, and I don't know if I want to tell too many of the other ones. And this one and another one, I had made the videos before, but I think they were the ones that got corrupted, and so I couldn't use them. When I went through like 2 months of that, I lost a lot of videos, seriously. And you make the video, then you upload it, and it's all messed up. It just says, hey everybody, this is great. That's what happened to me. Or it's just at the end of it, I'll talk to you on another video. And that was it. The whole video, that's all it said. Either one of those. So I made a lot of videos. You think I remember what I said in each one that got corrupted? Okay. Yeah, some of them were like, I checked back another day, and I have 2 or 3 uploaded, and they were all corrupted. So anyway, but I was doing that on mysteries for this month, October. And we'll see if I make more. That one really has me bothered. So it's an unsolved mystery. It's ongoing. And I do also, like I've said before, I want to talk about this and kind of combine these together, these things I just mentioned in this video. Not the word salad, but the illusory pattern perception, conspiracy theorists, the bullshit. And my mother was a conspiracy theorist, and I grew up with that. And other things, I want to start combining them more together with the narcissistic and the histrionic behaviors. The people, with people who get a sick thrill out of other people getting hurt, or hearing that other people get hurt. Those are, I think, 2 different things. I could be wrong, but on and on, especially lately. Hearing so much about that, and throw in a few other things and kind of combine, get them down to, you'll see. I should say that. Yeah. And also, what some people will say, such as things about conspiracy theorists. Lately, I've been going around with Adam and saying, I would make a statement and or maybe a question even. And say, conspiracy theory or hypothesis. He'd think about it, and he'd answer. They were pretty much all hypotheses, all of them together. So, and I need to brush up on that too. But yeah, some people seem to think anything when somebody doubts something or questions what's going on behind that. Could there be something more to that than what meets the eye. You know, there's something below the surface of what's being said. Some people immediately think that's a conspiracy theory. We'll talk about that in other videos. Bye.